When my friend gifted my son a betta fish, I thought it was going to be a cheap, easy pet, right? Wrong. The fish is like the cheapest thing on the shopping list. Once I got the tank, decorations, gravel, etc., I think I spent at least $150 to $200. And then when I got into aquarium plants and started getting multiple tanks, well, now I know why people try to hide their receipts from their spouses. So let's talk about how to save money when you got no money. Hi, I'm Irene with girltalksfish, and for tip number 1, I actually made a previous video on building a budget planted aquarium where I talked about using or getting used equipment. But did you know also that you can buy used fish? So in a lot of my pet stores and local fish stores, they have a adopt a fish, an aquarium where you can get fish as cheap as $1. And if you look on Craigslist or other classified ad websites, I've seen betta fish and their whole betta fish aquarium kit for sale as well. But my favorite place is to go to my local fish club or aquarium society where they have these auctions, and there you can find these amazing fish that have been bred or kept by fellow fish keepers like me that are passionate in the hobby. Tip number 2 is you can pretty much buy cheap substitutes for anything. So for example, if you need a ton of biomedia, I've heard of people using shower scrubbies, lava rock from Home Depot, even gym socks. I personally use a quarantine aquarium that is just a plastic tub that I got from Walmart. For scraping algae, you can use toothbrushes and razor blades. That's really effective, in my opinion, sometimes more effective than normal algae scrubbers. And then, well, honestly, I am not the best bargain hunter there is out there. So I would recommend going to Primetime Aquatics, where Jason and Joanna actually have 2 great videos on finding aquarium supplies at Dollar Tree as well as Home Depot, I believe. So check it out. Link in the description. Tip number 3 is to buy in bulk to save money. Now, I don't do this a lot because I only have 3 tanks, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But what I do buy in bulk includes airline tubing. I don't know why, but I'm always running out of this stuff. Aquarium root tabs, got hungry plants that always need feeding, especially when I had that huge Aponogeton, as well as the trio of quarantine medications because I'm always getting new fish in. I don't tend to buy a ton of food in bulk because, again, it doesn't make sense for me, but if you have a whole fish room or tons of aquariums, go for it. Tip number 4 is to wait for sales. So if you are patient and willing to wait for those holidays such as Black Friday, Labor Day, many companies have their biggest sales then. I know Petco does like a $1 per gallon sale when you're buying aquariums, which is really nice. And that happens 3 to 4 times a year. So I'm always on the lookout for that. And then again, other companies such as Petco, they will also do price matching. So you can bring in your screenshot of Walmart, Amazon, PetSmart, Chewy.com and show them a better price. They will match it for you. Now, the company I work for, Aquarium Co-op, they do not offer sales because we just want to have the best price possible for you guys at all times of the year. But if you are a member, they do offer a 5% discount, so make sure to check it out. Tip number 5 is actually to save on electricity. So if you have many aquariums, you might consider heating the room they're in versus having heaters in each individual tank. Maybe run your aquariums at a lower temperature. So for example, in this aquarium, I actually don't necessarily run it at 78, but it kind of ranges from 74 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your filter. You know, maybe you can downgrade to a less powerful filter. For example, the USB Nano air pump that I use is only, I think, 1/3 of a watt. And then finally, lights. I often tell people to put them on a timer for algae reasons, because if you have it on too long, it'll start to grow algae. But when you set your schedule, consider turning it on when you're gonna be around to enjoy it. So for example, on my 10-gallon aquarium, I actually turn it on in the morning when I'm around making breakfast for the kids, and then I have it turn on again and in the evening when I'm making dinner. So there's kind of a middle of the day siesta.
Everybody. Yep. That's a smile. Yeah, now to her.
Tip number 6 is to go DIY, make it yourself. Now, be careful on this one because sometimes the project can end up costing the same, if not more than buying the product, but you know, it's fun. So I've seen lots of people make their own aquarium stands, brine ship hatcheries, as well as their own DIY aquarium lights using LED strips, which is pretty cool. I'm not the best at building things, but I have successfully made stuff like my own air pump silencer box, as well as a fry siphon for cleaning areas where you have tiny fry you're trying to avoid. Some projects in the past that haven't gone so well would be I tried to make my own fish trap to catch my dwarf chain loaches with bait, and that was completely a failure, as well as I used to cut test strips in half so that I would have twice as many, and that sometimes worked, but other times when I would swish around the strip in the water, the pads would fall off. So take it or leave it, give it a shot if you want to. Tip number 7 might seem a little counterintuitive, but basically, I recommend spending the money to buy a better quality product with a good warranty. So for example, if you buy a cheap aquarium light off of Amazon for $25, and then after a year it breaks, it has no warranty, and then so the next year you buy another one, and then the next year you buy another one, versus what if you spend $75 to get a better light that has a 3-year warranty and it comes with more features, such as being more water resistant or having that UL rating so it doesn't burn down your house. Something to consider. This does require more patience because you have to spend the time to save up the money, but essentially you're trading in time for money, and in my opinion, it's a good trade to get a much better product. Nowadays, I do work for Aquarium Co-op, so I get that sweet employee discount, but I don't think that's really a money-saving hack because I definitely find myself perusing the Aquarium Co-op website much more than I should and thinking to myself, what plant should I get next? For more money-saving hacks that are geared toward you plant lovers, gotta check out this video over here, and then if you missed the rest of my aquarium hacks, I have the full playlist over here. Take time to enjoy your aquariums, and I'll see you in the next video.